so I did shout out to Coach Zeno, man. That was the dude, RIP to him too, man. He the one that helped me get into like really focusing on school. But at the time, you know, I'm in the city. I ain't really trying to go to at the time to another state. Like, that's home base. I'm like, I'm cool. I'm ready. I want to branch out. And for me, I like to travel. And I knew that early on. So I went to a camp there. It was at Churchland. And then he was like, yo, I got a school for you. I don't know if you want to go. It's in Idaho. I'm looking like, huh? You know what I'm saying? So my mom like, boy, you about to go way out there? You know, bitch, I'm the only child on my mom's side. So I was like, bro, you is tripping. Whatever, like, man, I'm gone. Full-ride scholarship, Juco. At the times, I used full-ride scholarships at Jucos. And I was like, man, I'm out of here. So when I went out there, I did my thing.
What was like getting off the plane in Idaho? Man,
it was. I mean, like I said, I went to private school, so I seen a lot of different ethnicities, so it was cool. You know, coming from Bayside, where it's all the homies and the bros. It's like, man, this ain't the homies and the bros. You know what I'm saying? It's different. So I'm out there just doing my thing. You know, I'm able to adapt and adjust. Like I said, I love to travel and meet people, but the culture was different. Like dudes, that was my first time seeing dudes from other countries, bro. Like it was crazy. Dudes on my team from Australia, Norway, London, different places, bro, and they brought a different type of like swag and style to the game. Looking like, oh, this is lit. So I'm thinking like, man, I'm ready to go leave. I'm playing against all these dudes, and these dudes is like grown men. Cause over there, you know, they already played pro early. Yeah. So it's like, oh, they already fine and tuned up. But you know, I'm just coming from, you know, Lake Elwes, Lambeau. I'm looking like, man, I'm the man out here. You know what I'm saying? But little I know, on my birthday, the coach redshirted me. I'm looking like, huh? My mom, first time she flew, I ever seen her fly. So it was like, yo, this is crazy. Redshirt me on my birthday. I'm sitting there. I think my mom still got the shirt. Not the shirt, but the picture of me with my hood on. Like, man, this is so BS. Cause I'm in Walmart going crazy. And he was like, man, but the red shit, because at the time, you know, for players out there, man, pay attention, man. Just pay attention to your path and your story and what the coaches is telling you. Because at the time, I wasn't even thinking about it. But he was doing it for next year. So redshirt this year, come back the next 2 years, and we're going to be dominant because we got dudes coming in 6'10", 6'11", 7-footers. We got good guards coming in. You can be a perfect piece for us. I'm not even thinking about it. Man, I'm trying to play now and get up out of here, bro. I'm trying to get my 2 years out of here, get my AA, and I'm gone. But at the time, like I said, I was stubborn when thinking. And then, yeah, but hey, Idaho was super fun. No, I was there for that year, and then I left and came home. And then some things happened with the family, with my grandmother and my mom and stuff, situation like that. So I had to make sure I had to come home. Like I said, I'm the only child over there on my mom's side. So it's like, that's my baby. You know what I'm saying? I make sure she's straight. And my grandmother, you know, partially raised me too. So anything family, I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I came home.
Facts. So how did you end up playing overseas? Because I know you've been over there a couple of times.
Yeah.
And everybody always asks me, like, everybody always be wondering, like, but you stayed? Getting some money over there.
Yeah, I stayed on my thing. Yeah, because like I said, I'm pretty sure people already know, like, yo, he be wearing this brand, that company, this company. It's like, yo, I be reaching out to these people, and it's like I did the same thing for my agents too. Like, people don't really know. I went to like 6 or 7 different Jucos just to make this dream work, but I always had a plan and a vision. And my mom always taught me, like, okay, I'm gonna show you love and make sure you're straight, but I don't want you to just be out here just BSing and wasting your time. You gotta have a plan. Once you have a plan, I'm gonna support you at anything you do, but you gotta have a plan and make it work, and we need to see it happen. So I always been a dog on that, and I knew how to network, and I had a mouthpiece. So it was like, man, you know what? After the Juco and Idaho ain't work, that's when I came home. That's when TCC had a basketball team, so I was doing that for a little bit, and then I got my grades together. Then I went to school in North Carolina at Brownsville Community College. Went there, played half the year, so they took some eligibility too. And then, you know, I said, man, forget it, I'm gonna just go back out Midwest. And then I went to Texas to Trinity Valley, but then some things got messed up there. Then I started doing a little bit of football stuff. I'm looking like, man, football might be alright. But then I'm like, man, I'm cool. I remember back at elementary school, I ain't know they could hit you back. No, forget this. These dudes is Aki out there, boy. They knocking helmets off. Looking like, oh yeah, this ain't me for real. I'm too big to be out here. So then I left there, Texas. Then I went to California, and that's when I went to Pierce College out there, and that's when I got to connect with going to UCLA. And that's when I started taking classes at Pierce, but at Pierce, but I was taking classes for UCLA there. And then I'm going back and forth, you know, getting to know the players and stuff like this. This is around when Shabazz Muhammad was there, Josh Smith was there before he transferred to Georgetown, a couple other players. And I'm like, man, this might be alright. I'm loving out here in Cali. And then UCLA was showing me love too, but Harlem was showing me love. But at the time, I ain't know behind the scenes what was going on. So long story short, the season coming in, and then that's when he lost his gig there. And then the coach from New Mexico came in, took his coaching job. I think it's Steve Halford, and he brought a couple of his players, and his son was playing too. So I was like, man, what y'all about to do? Oh, we about to transfer, bro. I'm like, bro, we transfer, we got to sit out again. I'm like, bro, I already transferred a million schools, bro. I'm not trying to do this again. I'm ready to get this over with. So then I came home for a minute. And then this Juco in Northern California called Chabot College hit me. He was like, yeah, you come out here, everything is like clean slate in California, because I guess they got different like eligibility things out there. So I'm like, man, I'm about to just go ahead and do it my last years or whatever. I got to make this happen quick because now I got a baby now. So I'm like, man, I got to make this happen quick. I didn't make plans because, hey, if ain't no bread coming in, I'm looking silly at the crib. So it's like, man, all right. So I did that. And the reason I went there because the coach that was there, he had a dude that was 7'4" named Kyle Luckett. He was there. He played with the Bulls a little bit and with the Clippers, and plus the head coach there, Coach Denny A. Shout out to him. He was a scout for the Clippers and stuff. So I'm like, man, this might be a plug. So I'm out there doing my thing. Was top 3 on the team, like rebounds, points, scored. I mean, like points and blocks and all the assists. I'm looking like, man, I'm gone. So then I left and then came home, and then, bro, in my emails to this day, where I got probably over 1,000 emails I sent to agents trying to make this thing happen, bro. And one dude hit me back, but he didn't really have connects like that, but he just had the backing for the bread. So I'm like, man, if I can just use my mouthpiece to get in these doors with these teams or these GMs overseas in the league, we can make this happen. He was based out of West Palm Beach. So I'm out there just, training like a madman, doing my thing. And then Miami Heat came to the door, was working out with them for a little bit. And then Dallas. Then a little bit with the Lakers, and the Lakers was rocking with me, and the Dallas Mavericks rocking with me tough. And then I'm like, you know what, man, let me hit the Wizards since it's right down the street. So I'm like, hit them, and then they was rocking with me tough for a little bit. But it was all talking about this right before like the two waves was coming in. So I'm looking like, man, this might be an opportunity, but at the same time, I ain't got no bread. I'm still just traveling, and I don't want to just keep asking him for money because with agents, that's a loan. So I need to make sure my bread right to pay him back. So long story short, with that, I just went overseas, and then the first gig was I only had like 48 hours to go overseas. And this was in Singapore. I'm looking like, man, this is as far as hell, like 28-hour flight. I'm looking like, man, I don't know. So I had damn near like a day and a half to tell my daughter, my mom, my family, like, yo, hey, I'm gone.